Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Ashley. So today, this is my first Me in the Media. So we are discussing Disney films and how they progress throughout, their first era. So we're gonna be comparing films such as Snow White, which came out in 1937. And both films are Frozen. The first one came out back in 2013 and the second one came out recently in 2019. So, we are going to be discussing today about Snow White's personality traits. The summary of her film takes place in Germany, and it's about this young princess who is forced to flee her kingdom just because her evil, wicked stepmom wants to try to kill her, and she seeks sanctuary in a home owned by 7 men. So her real aspiration in life right now is to find a prince. She keeps on singing and talking about how much her prince is gonna find her someday and sweep her off her feet and marry her. So Snow White's personality, she tends to become, she's very naive, innocent, meek, quiet, but she also loves animals. She's very kind, nurturing, very feminine, and very dainty, especially during the 1930s. That was the stereotype that women should play. In the film, you consistently see Snow White either picking flowers, talking or singing to animals, cooking or cleaning, and at that time, since it was not very progressive, it would tell the viewers to that all what little girls could do is just become a housewife and cook and clean. So move over like nearly a century later, and you have the film Frozen come out in 2013. So Frozen takes place in the Norwegian area around the 1800s, and it's about these two sisters. One who is the queen of her land of Arendelle, and then the other one who is a princess. So the eldest sister, Elsa, she is born with magical ice powers, and she was very open about her as a kid, but because there was an incident that happened that almost killed Anna, her younger sister, her parents were always telling her to conceal it, to hide it, to repress her powers, and because of this, she always had a lot of anxiety and depression going on, so that she carried on into her adulthood. So the film starts a little bit after her parents had died, and it's her coronation. So Elsa's 21 at this point, and Anna's 18. Elsa, by accident in her coronation, releases her ice powers and runs away because she is in fear and distraught. So she runs away to the mountain, and her younger sister Anna goes after her to go save her and try to get her back to undo the mess that she did. At the same time, Elsa, she realizes that her powers, they should be something that they should be enjoyed, and so she lets it go, as her song states, and she is free, she feels less anxious, and she just, creates her own palace, creates her own guards, and all while her younger sister Anna is by herself in the winter trying to look for her, and she comes across a man named Kristoff who she asks for her help. So all of this, she goes and tries to convince her to come back, but by accident, Elsa struck Anna and her heart with her ice powers, and she leaves. And at the same time, Anna's boyfriend tries to go supposedly save her and try to bring Elsa back. Excuse me. And all the while, Hans turns out to be the bad guy. He just wants to take power and this and that, and that was his original plan, but we didn't know this. And but Anna ends up saving her sister because Hans was about to kill Elsa, and she was like, no, and saves her power, saves her from that, and because of that, Elsa and Anna live happily ever after. Move on to the second film. Elsa hears a strange voice. She might be schizophrenic, we don't know about that, but maybe it could be a metaphor. So she wants to know why is this voice calling to her, and she wants to know exactly where did she get her powers from. So by accident, because Elsa is supposedly very accidental prone, but she seems to carry this sense of grace, she releases or makes the 4 elements very mad, and so her and her sister have to go out and find a way to undo it, and by doing this is by fixing a problem that happened with her grandparents and her parents when they were younger or back in the day. And so at the same time, Elsa calms down all 4 elements, which is really difficult, but she did it all by herself, and in the process accidentally dies. So Anna, when she finds out that her sister's dead, she even though she's sad, she carries on the grief, and she ends up saving the day without a man's help. Well, she did have a man's help, but she just kind of ordered them around so she was a leader. So, these two women, they both show courageousness between them and bravery. Anna typically shows like more leadership skills. So like at the end of the second film, she actually ends up being coronated the new queen. Her sister is more like full of grace. She's more quiet, kept to herself. While Anna's more outgoing. She's very outdoorsy and very adventurous. So if you take those between Snow White and Anna and Elsa, you could see that Snow White throughout the film, she did not do anything. Like she just stayed there, sleep the entire day, and wait till a prince come. So basically, she was just dead throughout the whole entire film. On the other hand, even though one sister kept on dying, the other sister kept on saving her life without man's help. So that kind of shows that how women, they don't need to depend on a guy to do anything for them. And also in addition to that, we see in the first two films that Elsa has no love interest. So this could be showing to young girls everywhere that, you don't need to find a man exactly and, are expected to marry them the first moment that you meet them, which is a good life lesson to learn. Hello. We are going to be discussing the article Gender Role Portrayal in Disney Princesses and use that article to see how to describe how Disney films affect stereotypes that are being enforced amongst young girls and young boys right now as we speak. So the earlier Disney films such as Cinderella, Snow White, and Sleeping Beauty were the three classics. All of the princesses were known to have a man rescue them, and maybe they would just sing and just cry the entire time. For example, Snow White, she bit an apple, she died. What happened? A prince came and saved her. Cinderella, she went to a ball, looked amazing, wears a gorgeous dress while she's trying to get away from her abusive stepmom and her stepsisters. What happens next? A prince puts a shoe on her and says she's the one and marries her. Third princess, Sleeping Beauty. What happens? She touches a spinning wheel and she, dies or sleeps, and then a prince, within 10 minutes later, kisses her, saves her, and they are all saved. So those three original Disney classic films are, enforced with more the idea that girls should be more weak, meek, asking for help, being fearful of others, being more submissive, more docile, and, should just stay home and do the cooking and cleaning and look pretty. As time progressed later on, however, especially during the Disney Renaissance, which happened in the 90s, so personally, I wish there was another Latinx princess. Personally, I would make mine a queen. Her name would be Artemis. And she's short, in the shorter range for women, maybe around between 5 foot through 5'4". She has brown tan skin, so maybe olive-like skin. She has brown eyes, brown hair, and also she's maybe around a size 6 waistline, a normal waistline for women, not too crazy skinny. She hates wearing corsets, and at one point when she was a teenager, she was trying to be rebellious, and she is very intelligent. She's right now in her mid to late 20s. I guess it's best to put her around ages 27 through 29 or even 30s, maybe her 30s as well. She's a queen. She rules over her kingdom. Also, she watches over her younger siblings as well. And she is very adventurous, spontaneous, a little bit stubborn at times, yes, but she's very protective. She's also very outgoing, and she loves to read. She loves to learn about the outside world. She's very protective of the environment and animals, and also she has a couple of labs of her own to help promote, good health among her people, and creates medicines and potions of that sort. She's also known to be a healer, so if someone were to come to her asking for a need, she would automatically help them and heal them right away. Also, if she needs to, she's very brave. She would go up and also try to resolve some political conflict of some sort, and if that doesn't work out and unfortunately has to end in war, she would be involved very heavily and trying to do her do her duty to fight alongside it. So the type of dresses that she likes to wear, if she were to be attended to a ball, because she hates the really frilly, poofy type of dresses, she would be known to wear a signature tight little black dress and just dance around with whoever she wants. And yes, I personally think that Diane Guerrero would be a great voice actress for her because they're both spunky, they're full of life, they're adventurous, outgoing, very talkative, and yes. And also, I think that her song would be the song Juice by Lizzo. Because she wants everyone to feel positive about themselves no matter how they look like this and that. She thinks that everyone is beautiful inside and out. Okay. So, in conclusion, I personally believe that Disney, since it is a multi-billion company, they could do a lot more to try to impress or try to get along with a lot of people. Like they could have a princess, prince or princesses are both different colors and ethnicities, different appearances, different body shapes, different forms, different perspective on life, also different love interests, like on the LGBTQ plus. Maybe there does not have to be a love interest at times, maybe a more dynamic duo going on at this time. And also also having more prince and princesses with friends who are actually humans and not animals. Yes, so that is my perspective on this, and this is my first Me in the Media. Thank you for watching.